This is Kathy Biehl of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro Insight for the week of June 10th, 2024. Walls, stalls, and trenches are themes of this week. Let's start with the notion of trenches. The two most active, the two most, let's be honest, violent signs in the sky are in a challenging aspect as the week begins. On the 11th, Mars squares Pluto. Mars at the beginning of Taurus, where he turns our actions and our motivations and our agendas to extremely practical, resource-oriented, perhaps financial issues, clashing with Pluto, the agent of unavoidable change, the ruler of power and secrets and huge wealth, at the beginning of the sign of Aquarius, where he will be, except for a brief break this fall, until 2044, and where he has recently received a massive power-up from Jupiter. Pushes, arguments, striving, fighting could have long-term ramifications. Networks and technology could be involved. Aquarius rules communities and also technology networks. Frustration could be vented at a seemingly immovable source or object. However the specifics play out in your life or in the world around you, this is going to redefine, refocus how we go about pushing our agendas forward, how we go about interacting with the material world, how we go about physically handling resources during Mars's entire time in Taurus, which lasts until about the 10th of July. As we're coming off this, we get the third pulse in a process that presages limits and perhaps containment that will come again at the end of August and at the end of December. On the 12th, Mercury, ruler of communication and also some of that technology and transportation as well, squares Saturn, planet of adulting, consequences, rules, order, structure, the old guard. Last week, Venus and the Sun squared Saturn on the 8th and the 9th. At the end of August and again at the end of December, Jupiter, expansive Jupiter, is going to square it as well. So whatever the noise that's been going on, the clatter, the chatter, the every which way aspect of thinking and communication and our minds, there is a push to slow it down. Something where we all hit a no or walls or whoa, the brakes have got to be put on. We very quickly get personal clarity about this. On the 14th, the Sun meets Mercury in Gemini, the sign of its rulership. Maybe the wall gets you to sit still and realize something. Maybe containment does this to you. Maybe you see the limitations in which you are living and come to grips with a way of thinking. Maybe you hit a moment of flexibility in your view of yourself and in what's going on all around you. The aftermath is a tiny bit itchy and queasy and annoying, with semi-sextiles to Uranus and also Jupiter from Mercury, the Sun, and then Mars on the 14th and 15th. Even though we have each hit a point of personal clarity, a point of personal understanding, a point of knowing, well, at least this is what I think about things, there are reminders that uncertainty is still in the mix. There's some uncomfortable nudges, urges, situations around you that you may have to deal with or that will continue to bug you if you don't simply look at them and do something about them. And doing something about anything flies out of the question by the 16th. This is a time of incredible escapism, perhaps romanticizing, looking for solace or something other than the mundane, with Venus squaring Neptune exact on the 16th. Now, both of these planets rule love, ordinary love, and higher spiritual, compassionate love. They both rule creativity. This has a potential to send us off into fantasy land about some person or some situation. We could be challenged to forgive. We could be encouraged to just go escape. If this is the binging moment of the month, so be it. You may well need a little bit of softness and gentleness after the harshness and unavoidability of the Mars-Pluto square that begins the week on the 11th. Remember, every time a planet changes signs, it has a contact with Pluto, which is currently the planet at the very earliest degree of a sign. Whatever happens with the Mars-Pluto square is tempering Mars's experience in the sign of Taurus. And we may all need to go off into the clouds and just float over the weekend to recover or just be nice to ourselves as a result of the early part of the week. Remember, everybody is going through this. Give everyone slack. Yourself first and foremost. Homing thought of the week. Something's got to give, and I let it go. Song of the week. This is me from the movie The Greatest Showman, and the image of the week is putting on rose-colored glasses. You'll learn more about this in my forecast for the month of June, which is up at my site, empowermentunlimited.net, where you can sign up for my mailing list and get a Jupiter in Gemini quick reference guide to download as a thank you for subscribing, and book a session with me. I'm currently booking sessions starting June 24th. I'm Kathy Biehl, a professional astrologer with more than 30 years' experience. I have lots of bonus content at patreon.com/Kathy Biehl, and I'm really grateful to the people who support my work there. I host the show Celestial Compass on Om Times Radio and TV on the first and third Monday of every month at 5 p.m. Eastern. I also host a conversation on Facebook at the page Empowerment Unlimited and in the group, the Astro Insight Lounge. I post on Instagram and Threads at K.A. Biehl and on YouTube at the Professional Aquarian channel. Talk to you next week.